All right, folks, we are back. My apologies for last time. I cut off the last one at the very end. So I'm actually starting with 31 today, but today is 30 through 21. And I will try my best to get through all these pretty quickly, but man, the games are just getting better as we get closer to the top of the list. I don't know why that is. Number 31 was 30 last year, came on the list in 2022 at 31, brief bit up to 18 when I was playing a lot. This is Living Forest. Shout out to Melissa who taught me this game. Living Forest is a deck building game in which you're flipping cards up from the deck, and there's a little bit of a push your luck element because you can get these symbols. If you get three of them, then you bust and you only get one action. But if you don't bust, then you get two actions, or something like that. It's been so long since I played it, but it's really good. I played this a lot on Board Game Arena for a while. In fact, I think this is the only game that I've actually played until I got into the ranked area. There was a time when I was just playing it all the time. Really good expansion on Board Game Arena 2. I don't have that one. I rarely ever play this one physically, but I'd like to play it more, so ask me to. Number 31, Living Forest. Now we get to the real things. Number 30 was 44 last year, and this is Caesar. And you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and put with it number 29, which was number 43 last year, which is Blitzkrieg. I love these games so much. These are two-player games designed by the same person, Paolo Mori, clearly in the same line. It's the exclamation mark sees Rome in 20 minutes, exclamation mark Rome, or line. Or wait, this is World War II in 20 minutes. Wait, there's no exclamation mark at the end of the. Okay, this is blowing my mind. I gotta skip past that. Um, Very similar games in that each player is going to have some tiles in front of them. The other player doesn't know what they have, and then you put them down on the board to influence the board in different ways. In Caesar, you're kind of putting influence into different areas in kind of like an area control sort of thing, kind of area majority. And in Blitzkrieg, you have these tracks, and you're moving along the tracks for the different theaters in World War II. Really, both great, interesting games. It says 20 minutes. Honestly, if you know what you're doing, 15 minutes would be fine. Lots of decision making. And yeah, just it gives you a lot in a small box for a small amount of time. That's Caesar and Blitzkrieg staying together as always. They're too different to combine into one item, but I always just put them right next to each other. And yeah, I like Blitzkrieg just a hair more than Caesar. Number 28. This has been on the list since the beginning. It started at number 2. It has fallen dramatically. Last year it was number 13. But I do still love this game. I just haven't played it in years. This is the Game of Thrones, the board game. This is the first edition. I have the second edition right up there. I also have the Storm of Swords expansion and the Clash of Kings expansion. I have a Feast for Crows mini expansion. Anyway, this is the other game I was talking about when I was saying that for dudes on a map sort of games, like area control, there's two games that I want it to be. I either want it to be Nexus Ops, like I talked about last time, where you're just rolling a bunch of dice and then you're attacking all the time, or I want it to be a really crunchy, thinky decision-making game with some negotiation and some maneuvering. That's Game of Thrones. Yeah, it's fallen a lot. It's just fallen because I haven't played it. I tried to play it at this kind of convention, really board game day thing in the area back in January, I think that was. There just weren't enough people who were willing to give it a go. You really it says 3 to 6, or 3 to 5 for the base game, and then the Clash of Kings expansion makes it 6. Second edition is 3 to 6. You need ideally 5 people for this, or 6. 5 or 6. 4 is okay. 3 is just no. Play something else. I really like the source material. It's based on the books, not the show. I didn't watch the show. What are you going to do? I don't watch a lot of TV. I read books. Number 28, Game of Thrones. It's a shame it's fallen this far. Like I said, it started at number 2, but it's fallen a ways. Number 27 is the only one in this stretch of 10 that I don't have to show you. This is called Eternal Decks. This is my 4th highest new game to the list. Shout out to Jess, who taught me this game. I played a lot of it with, I think, Jen and Sarah. I think we played a lot. I should have looked up ahead of time, but man, what a great and interesting game. This is one of those co-op games, and yes, I know, Kyle hates co-op games. I don't hate co-op games. I love co-op games that have it, like the ability to communicate is limited in some way. This is not my favorite co-op game, I don't think, or is it? Oh my gosh, is this my new favorite co-op game? Did I already talk about Hanabi, or am I spoiling my list? Where's Hanabi on my list? Okay, now you're gonna see me in real time. Oh, Hanabi is all the way down at 62. Oh my gosh. Maybe I guess this is my favorite co-op game now. I should talk about what the game is. You are trying to basically defeat all of these Eternals, and in doing so, you get the cards that they give you, and you can beat the levels. So it is kind of a campaign game, but each level is very much a full game, and you could play at any time. The communication is limited in that you have to play the cards down as a group in certain patterns. You have to make sure that certain people win certain areas to get certain decks, because if any of the people playing run out of cards, you lose the game. Um, the communication is such that you have these two little things, and you can put them down in different areas of the board. So you can't be like, "Oh, I'm going to go here," but you could put your guy there and have people assume that you're going to go there. Or if something really needs to be done, you might be like, "Oh, we need this," and like put it down there. But people might misunderstand you, and so yeah, it's not really like a trick taking sort of thing. But if you know trick taking games, some of those conventions translate over into this. Really fascinating game. Number 27, Eternal Decks. Number 26 was 21 last year. It was new to the list last year. This is After Us. This is a deck building game about monkeys taking over the Earth after the humans have all died off due to who knows what. Nice. You can see the Eiffel Tower here has a chunk taken out of it or something. I don't know. Theme's very loose. This game is about arranging your monkeys so that you get these boxes together, because you need a full complete box in order for it to do something. If you only have half a box, it doesn't do anything, and so you got to lay them out in different orders in order to get different benefits. Lots of, and you only have 4 cards you lay out at a time, so it's not too much. But it is one of those games that you have a lot of cool decisions to make. It is a little bit multiplayer solitaire in that you're kind of doing your own thing, not a lot of player interaction. Um, but that does also mean you can play a 6-player game in probably half an hour. It says 45 minutes on the box. If everybody knew what they were doing, I bet half an hour. Um, Big shout out to George who taught me this the one time I went to Gen Con, which was a couple years ago at this point. Yeah, great game. Really like it. After Us, number 26. Number 25 has been on the list every single year that I've done this. That starts to be the case as we get up to some of these. This was 36 last year. It is Tribune, Primus Inter Pares. Tribune is a hand management game set in ancient Rome where you're trying to influence these various different factions in order to get these various different benefits. Tribune, I I played this recently actually. I really like how quickly this game goes, and not that like it's a great game. It would be fine if it went longer. But here's the thing with Tribune: it almost always lasts one round shorter than what most people at the table think it's going to. And the last time I was playing this, I was playing I think a 3-player game with Mark and Jonathan, and Amy came down and was like, "Oh, how much longer in your game?" And Jonathan said like, "Oh, probably about 15, 20 minutes." And I said, "It's going to be about 2 minutes," because I knew I was going to win that round, and in fact, I did. So shouldn't have done that. Tribune. Also a game that my wife really dislikes, which means that if she doesn't want to play a game and some other people do, I can pull it out and play it then. That's fine. Not all games are for everyone. Lost Ruins of Arnak is not for me, for example. Nowhere on the list. Not a great game. Throw a little controversy out there. Number 24 has been on the list all 5 years. This was 20 last year. This is Summoner Wars. This is my third highest 2-player only game, I do believe. You'll notice this is the master set from the first edition. I still have not played the second edition. It sounds great. I don't need to play it. I have just about everything for the first edition. I have all of the factions, not all of the second summoners, and not all of the deck building things. This is a game where you have a lot of cool different factions that play very differently. You put the cards on the map as if it were kind of an abstraction of a miniatures game, and then you are trying to destroy your opponent's summoner. Um, The way in which the different factions interact is very interesting. The puzzle is always kind of different because even if you're playing the same two factions against each other, the cards in your unique deck are going to come out in different ways. And also you cannot summon all of your units. So if you're playing the Mountain Vargath here, these sheep dudes, like their common units are pretty strong, but they all cost money. None of them are free. And so you're typically you have three champions, but typically if you're playing Mountain Vargath, you might summon one. Um, Whereas some of the other factions, it's like, okay, try and get all three of your champions out. They're all really good, and your common units are just kind of okay. But there's also very different ways to play that. Like maybe you do play the Mountain Vargath and you don't play the way I do, and you don't focus on the common units, and you focus on the champions and stuff like that. I don't know. A lot of depth to this game. Someday I'll play the second edition, but I don't think I'll ever upgrade to it. Watch me eat those words in a few years or something. It's just so darn good. That's Summoner Wars number 24. Oof, we're getting close to the top. Number 23 was 25 last year when it debuted on the list, so it's gone up just a little bit. I do play this one fairly regularly. This is the Vale of Eternity. The Vale of Eternity for me fills that little niche of I used to play Magic the Gathering a lot. I've since sold all my Magic the Gathering cards. In fact, I did that last year, but I haven't played Magic the Gathering in a while. I really like collectible card games in that each of the cards tends to break the rules in unique ways. That's really neat. I don't like collectible card games in that they cost a fortune to play generally, and to stay up with is like that's going to be the only game that you're playing. Clearly, I like to play a variety of games. That's who I am as a person. This satisfies that kind of itch to play something like Magic the Gathering because each of the cards breaks the rules in a very interesting way. There are 5 different card families. So you got like your air, it's like earth, water, air, fire, and dragon. And everything changed when the Dragon Nation attacked. Um, and the way that the different combos work is really interesting. I can't remember who I was playing this with. I was playing this with somebody. I taught it to them. I think it was Jonathan, and he found a combo that I had never seen before because there's just a big shared deck of cards. You flip out cards and you see what people buy. He found a combo that just allowed him to absolutely crush. And like, was that fun? Yes. Now the fact that the game is over in like 20 minutes means that finding these absurd, ridiculous combos that are totally broken is totally fine. Like that's basically the point of the game. Am I good at it? Not exactly, but do I like it? Hell yeah. That's the Vale of Eternity. Um, Number 22 is, gosh, this is the 4th 2-player only game in this list. Second highest of all my 2-player only games. It's been on the list the whole time. Started at number 4, so it's dropped a bit. This is KeyForge. I have so many boxes of this game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like 7 boxes that are kind of shaped like this, and then a couple of like the booster boxes as well. KeyForge is a game where you are playing with unique decks. So, for example, let me just grab 2 random ones out here. Let's see what we got here. Here we have The Thing That Is One with Scholars and Klemoff, the bulwark that forces the wall. Most of the names, not that great. But they all have this whole like unique algorithmically generated picture and name and contents of the deck. So each of these decks is unique. No one else has either deck with this name or this exact deck with these exact cards in it. That means that some of the decks are really awesome, some are not so great, but like playing them against each other and figuring out what the decks do is so cool, especially when you're cracking open new packs, which I do still have several new decks that I could open up because sometimes you can get them for a song. I bought a deck for $1 at the thrift store the other day. Once upon a time, Ollie's was selling the boxes of like 12 decks for $8, and so I got several of those boxes. Even more so than Vale of Eternity, this is the game that really scratches the itch of wanting to play a collectible card game. It's designed by Richard Garfield, the same guy who designed Magic the Gathering, and that's kind of what he does. He has other games too. I shouldn't say that's what he does, but this is what he does the best. this is in my mind such a better game as well than Magic. You're not just trying to attack and destroy your opponent for their hit points. What you're trying to do is collect this like amber, however you say it thing, and then forge these keys. But the number of levers that he has to play with in that, there's so many different things that he can and does do. Um, the game died for a while. It's back now. I played it a little bit with some of the newer sets. I mostly just have the original like four sets, I think. Mostly a lot of the first three. This is the third one. Brought in the Roman dinosaurs and togas, one of my favorite factions, and the Star Alliance, which is my favorite faction. They're basically Star Trek. Um, yeah, great stuff. Really love KeyForge. Finally, today, this is number 21. This is the highest game that I do not own, but I will show it to you because I have Mark's copy here. Thanks, Mark. And this is Beyond the Sun. I would maybe pick this game up if I didn't, I just picked it up right now, because I have Mark's copy. If I didn't have Mark's copy, maybe I'd buy it. But like, yeah. It was 14 last year. It's dropped a little bit. There's also some new games up there and some games that have risen. So that's kind of why it's dropped a lot. Not a lot, a little, by 7 spots. Um, the thing with Beyond the Sun, so this is that heaviness level that I really love. Like, I call it medium heavy. Um, but it's not part of the like really there's 13 games that are in my like these are my favorite games sort of category. So like we'll get into them in the next video, but all the top 10 and then the three beyond that. This one just barely misses the cut. Um, as why is it? Let me talk about why it's good, not about why it misses the cut, because it's hard to explain why it misses the cut. I don't really know why it's good. This is tech tree the game in a lot of ways. There is a tech tree on the board. You're doing this little worker placement game, but really what you're trying to do is develop all these technologies that allow you to do really great stuff. Either do more on the technology board or do some things on the space exploration board, which will get some points from some planets and things like that. There's a lot of different directions you can go in, and it's very interesting to see the different ways that people take it, and it's very crunchy. You're going to spend a lot of time thinking about the implications of your actions and what exactly you want or need to research so that you can continue doing well at the game, and so your economy doesn't fall apart, but you're still getting points. Um, yeah, I think it's really cool. I've only played with the expansion one time. I have Mark's copy of the expansion there, which he forgot that I had. So thanks, Mark. Um, I have some. By the way, all these are games that I do not own. These are other people's games. Same with up there. Same up there with up there that you can't even see. You people, you can. I have plenty of my own games. You can take your games home. It's okay, except this one, Mark. Leave this one here. Number 21, Beyond the Sun. And that does it for today. I'm sure this was a little bit more long-winded. That wasn't too bad, 18 minutes. But yeah, because I actually did 11 games there. Only 2 of these left to go. Hopefully, I get that done this weekend. That'd be amazing. If not, that's fine. Because you know what? This is just for fun. If you're watching and I do not know who you are and you've gotten this far in the video, like I've never met you before in my life, I don't know you from Adam, like put a comment on the video because I want to know how you found this and why you're watching these because that would be funny because I think I got some comments from people I have no idea who they are, which is great. So tell me who you are. Thanks for watching. I enjoy doing these. Have a great day. Bye.